Welcome back to the course on how MRP works. This is lesson 6, and for lesson 6 we're going to move away from the slides and go directly into an MRP tool. I want to show you how this tool works, and I want to give you the ability to be able to run it with different examples of the same data set and even your own data. I find a lot of textbook examples of MRP teach very well a single example with a manual calculation. You might have a table of data and you use a calculator to add up and subtract the balance and fill in the details as it marches across the page from left to right. And that's great for a single example. When we're starting to scale, let's say we've got dozens, hundreds, thousands of items, when we've got multiple demand periods, you ask, how do I do that? And the answer is, well, you have software to help. You have an MRP system which is meant to do that for you. I know from experience that a lot of MRP systems don't do that very well for a number of different reasons, and I'd like to give you more than just a textbook example. So as part of your download for this course, you'll be given a folder that contains some input data and a fully functional MRP tool. And I'd like to show you now how that works. So you're given a folder called SCMDJOJO, which is one folder. I'd like you to unzip that and save it directly to your C drive. So you can see in my example, we've got C, then SCMDJOJO, and the folder with data in it. All right. You've got the MRP calculations, which is just a static example that I showed you in the previous lesson. And this one here is the MRP tool. The reason that you need to put it directly in your C drive is because we've got one folder here called data, and the inputs, rather than being in Excel, are separate CSV files that we've created here. The reason for that is it makes it easier for you to swap it out with a different data set. You just replace those files with your own ones. The things you need to know, of course, is that they do need to be a consistent set of data, and some of the values need to be carefully controlled. For example, the table structure here has item code, quantity, and date. This is the same table structure that I'll show you in the tool, and it needs to be on row 1. And then we need a continuous table of data all the way to the bottom. You'll see that the example I've given you has a number of items, 7, 8, 9, 10 different items. Then we have a number of demand periods, so they're weekly demand buckets, and we've got 9 weeks in total. So there's a fair amount of data here to show you the complex calculation rather than just a single item example. Make sure this date format is how you would show dates. You know that Excel has a number of different formats. We need to make sure that this format is whether you have dates as DMY or as I've got here DDMMMYY. This needs to be a date format that's recognized by the particular locale settings of your system. I won't go through each of the inputs. We've got on-hand inventory, we've got a list of items, and we've got the bill of materials. I'll show you these in the tool themselves. We open up the tool. Now we have one sheet per table of data or one sheet per report. The menu sheet is where we run it. So we're going to use this update from local button to run the tool. We have inventory, items, product bomb, and demand. And you can see that the green headings are matching the table that is the input, and then we've got some calculations to the side. I won't go through the details of how this is realized in Excel, but all of this is unlocked, and if you are interested, you can unhide some of these other sheets to see the calculation, particularly this sheet called MRP. That's where the core calculations are done. Right? So if we update from local, you'll see it runs pretty quickly. Although we've got a good number of products and 9 weeks of demand, we're still getting a result in a few seconds. So there we are, 11 seconds. And there are 2 outputs. One is MRP report. So MRP report tells all of the things that need to be bought, all of the buy actions. And then further down, we have the make actions. Now, this is going all the way out to the end of the due date, right? So it's not considering the latest order date. We would need to go into the item master and look at the lead time to calculate the latest order date. But it's just telling us all of the actions that need to occur over that complete timeline. And then there's an inventory report. The inventory report is just giving us a projected balance for each of these items. And as I click down, you'll see that these are all being driven down towards zero. So that shows you some steeper, some more shallow. That shows you that net to zero effect. Right? So there we have it. We have a simple MRP tool. We have 4 input tables. We have a button you can use to run it. And then we have an MRP report. So if you want to make changes to the data, go back into the data folder, open up these CSV files. You can make changes to the bills of material, on-hand inventory, the lead times in the item master, the demand. And once you've saved those changes, you can run it again, and it should give you the results. So that ends our lesson on the Excel tool for MRP. In the next lesson 7, we're going to look at MRP systems. I'm going to walk you through the architecture of an MRP system, and we're going to get a few clues as to why they are the way they are today.